Well, good morning, YouTube. All right, guys, we woke up this morning in Red Lodge, Montana. Decided to bring Jessa out for a walk by this beautiful river. I forget the name of this river. I knew it, but I forget it. But either way, Red Lodge is a really cool, beautiful town. If you saw the end of yesterday's video when we got here, some of the shots of the downtown area, it just looks like a really cool old town. Now, we did sleep in a little bit this morning because we're not really going anywhere far today. We're going to spend tonight in Red Lodge as well, and then tomorrow we will head into Yellowstone. I think Amanda has planned a bit of a ride this morning. I think it's only like 140 miles or 150 miles, she said, round trip. Big loop that'll bring us right back here. So once everybody else is up and ready to go, I think that's what we're going to do. You know, it's been more than 2 years now since that river flooded and did a considerable amount of damage to this town. And it's kind of sad to say that there's still a lot of buildings here in disrepair along the river's edge that just never got fixed. guys, we stopped up here at this scenic overlook. I don't know exactly where we are. I said Amanda had planned this route. We kind of went back out of Red Lodge the way that we came in yesterday evening, and then went south, and just came through some really, really beautiful areas. And then we're kind of coming up the backside of Beartooth Pass, or from the side. But yeah, we just rode through all that valley over there, and now we're starting to climb back up into the mountains. It's just, man, absolutely gorgeous. Now, we're not going real fast. Speed limit on some of the lower roads down there were 70, but the truck we were behind was only doing 60 some of the time, 65, and there was plenty of room to pass, and I just decided not to. Just kind of taking in the scenery, not being in a hurry today. Guys, we've only gone another couple of miles and we found another absolutely beautiful scenic overlook. As you can see, the weather is coming in. It's going to get ugly, and there really isn't a good place around here for shelter. But man, look at this valley, just absolutely gorgeous. Look at the snow on top of the mountains way over there. The storm makes it look ominous, but still very beautiful. And the temperature has significantly dropped. I just stopped and put an Under Armour on underneath my t-shirt, underneath my hoodie, and I think I'm going to throw my riding jacket on as well. One, just so it'll keep me drier and stop some of that wind from coming through. Alright guys, well, it looks like the storm has moved off that way. We did get soaking wet. But man, just look at this road, guys. You see it? Anyway, so the road goes over there past where Amanda and Talon are, goes down that way into Hairpin, goes back down this way, kind of disappears behind those trees, but you can see it pokes out again down there and goes back that way, around that curve, down that way, disappears over there somewhere, goes back here, down that way, down there, direction. Just amazing. So we came down the hill a little ways, and luckily that rainstorm had passed us. The roads were still wet, as you can see in those last couple clips. We just took our time, came down slowly, and then you come around another corner and the scenery completely changes again. We found this little scenic overlook here, cool little bridge back here, but this mountain view off in the distance is just amazing. I think it's amazing how this mountain here is all dark and that one's all light, like it just changes, like it's completely different material or whatever. Just gorgeous. And look at the canyon here, the river flowing through it. Tyler got ballsy and jumped the fence. But from here you can't even see the bottom, but he's getting some footage over there of it. Wow, guys, check that out. You see it runs all the way through that canyon, all the way over that way. And now on this side of the bridge, it's even prettier. Guys, we are now back on 212 heading back in towards Red Lodge. We saw a little turnoff that says something lookout tower, probably looking over this absolutely beautiful view back here behind us. So we turned off in this gravel road, and I guess as I came around that corner back there, I think it might have been on camera. I don't know if the camera had activated on time, but it was a horrible set of bumps that just kind of bucked me, and I think I broke my oil cooler because now I've got oil everywhere. Oil's all over my boot. So we're gonna let it cool down for a second and see if there's anything we can do to fix it. So it doesn't look like we actually hurt the oil cooler, but one of the oil cooler hoses is completely severed where it came off of the nipple at the oil filter adapter. So we're gonna try to bypass the oil cooler for now and get it looped back around. Well, I'm really glad that we had the forethought to bring a couple gallons of oil with us. So figure 3 Harleys, might as well bring 2 gallons of 2050. You never know what you're gonna need. And it took 4 quarts to fill my bike back up. So when it hit that bump, it pumped every bit of oil out of it. So got it all filled back up. Talon rerouted the hose and tightened it back down and then looped the hose back to the oil cooler so what's in the oil cooler doesn't just kind of fall out going down the road. I think we've got it. It's so covered with oil right now, it's kind of hard to tell. We're using these tubbo towel things that we brought with us to try to wipe them down. But, you know, you can't really get in all the nooks and crannies. You need to get to a car wash or at least a can of brake clean or something, which I thought we had, but apparently we forgot to bring the brake clean. But I think we're going to pack it all up now, finish to the top of this hill, get that beautiful view of over yonder, and then we're going to head back in towards Red Lodge and see if we can get parts to fix this. Guys, we made it up here to the top where the fire tower is, and I will tell you the view is absolutely beautiful. Unfortunately, the bike is not sounding good. The hose that we looped, it's got a little bit of a pinch in it because it's not quite long enough to make the loop that it needs to make. And trying to remember exactly how the bypass works in the oil filter adapter. It's supposed to have a thermostat in it, so it doesn't even open until the oil gets to a certain temperature, and then it allows oil to run through the oil cooler. So the engine should still be supplied with oil pressure, even without the oil cooler on it, but maybe not with the oil cooler adapter on it. So we got to the top of the hill. I mean, it was only like another mile, but as I started coming up to the top, it started ticking really bad. So it sounds like the lifters have lost pressure. So we can't get a longer hose up here. We're so far away from everything. So we're trying to relocate the oil cooler so that the broken hose that is now too short to reach the nipple it's supposed to go on can hopefully reach it. So we unbolted it. We're going to try to get all those hoses connected and then just zip tie the oil cooler up if we have to, at least to get down off of the mountain to be able to get to a parts store to fix things. I'm just hoping that it's a lack of oil flow because of that pinch and that damage didn't already happen that's irreversible and, you know, that we're stuck fixing an engine somewhere. Now the oil pressure light wasn't on coming up here, or the lack of oil pressure light I should say, so in theory it should have oil pressure, but the ticking worries me, so I'm wondering if this maybe still got pressure to the bottom end, not the top end. I don't know. Maybe it's just enough to register in the sensor, but it's not actually flowing any oil anywhere. Guys, so what Talon did is rehooked it up, so it's all working, just not in its right place, and the ticking went away, so we now have oil pressure to the top end. Now we just got to find a way to secure the oil cooler to the frame rail. We are most likely just going to use zip ties and try to get it up and out of the way so the fender doesn't hit it when it turns, and my shifter still clears it. It doesn't look like it's leaking. I think the oil cooler isn't damaged, it was just that hose. And what I believe happened was when we hit that large bump, I think the front fork overextended and the fender came up past the oil cooler, and then it caught the top of the oil cooler and pushed it down when it was compressing again. That's the only thing that could have pulled that oil cooler forward to break that hose, because that hose is in a well-protected area. So that's our best guess. But right now, it's not clattering like it's going to come apart, so maybe we didn't hurt the motor too bad. on the way back down the hill from the tower, we had another hole rupture in the hose. The hoses are so dry that they didn't really like being moved. And same thing happened again. We pumped all the oil out of it, had to fill it up. Good thing we brought 2 gallons of Amsoil with us, but now we're out. We repaired it, kind of zip tied it up differently. Hopefully it's all going to work out okay. We've gone a good 20 or 30 miles since, and it's good. Now, we stopped at the Top of the World store, and somebody there gave us half a jug of some Rotella 1540 just for an emergency. I'm hoping we won't need it, but in an emergency, if for some reason we spring another leak before we get back down to the Red Lodge, at least I can top some off. I think Talon's got a 1.5 quart in his bike as well of Amsoil, so we're hoping that we won't need it. So far, so good. But everywhere we turn up here, guys, is just more absolutely phenomenal scenery, and it's just, I can't show it all to you. It just keeps coming and coming. All right, go. So there's this little trail that comes down here, kind of rocked off, handrail and everything, but the views from up here are just phenomenal. All the way back to the valley that way, and then all the way back in that direction towards Red Lodge. And there's no shortage of chipmunks.
No, definitely no shortage of chipmunks. I don't have anything for you, but
Which ones does he love? That one.
of course, they're really trusting of humans. Can I just climb up here and maybe get something from somebody? Does somebody have anything?
This way they'll go.
Guys, from here you can see where the road winds down this side of the mountain,
They get spooked about
all the way down to the bottom of the valley, way over there, and then back out this way, and all the way back up into Red Lodge. And on this side, if you look way down there, there is a waterfall.
Oh, we squeaked. There's one over here.
Yes, I pinned ordered it. No, you don't want to try that.
Oh, there's one right there.
All right, guys, now time to get down the hill and back to Red Lodge. I think this is going to be our last stop for the day. We're not that far from Red Lodge, and we want to get some dinner. And if I can find a parts store that's open, need to buy some more hose so I can fix my bike so we don't have any issues tomorrow. Well, guys, we made it back to Red Lodge just in time for the rain. We didn't get rained on, but it's just now starting. We're here at the fuel islands, gonna top off the bike so they're ready to go for tomorrow. Unfortunately, the auto parts store in town has closed already, so I won't be able to get the parts to fix my bike until morning. So that's gonna put us a little bit late leaving tomorrow, unfortunately, but it is what it is. So now fuel up, fill up, because we haven't had any dinner yet today, haven't had any lunch. We didn't really even have breakfast. We just kind of snacked here and there along the way. So I don't know what we're gonna do for dinner, but we're gonna look that up here in just a moment. All right, guys, so we had dinner at the Black Canyon Bistro. It was pretty good. Talon wasn't happy with his, but mine and Katie's was good. I think Amanda was on the fence with hers as well. Now we're going to cross the street to some pizza / ice cream place. And we're going to make ourselves fatter with a little bit of ice cream and some dessert. All right, and we are going to close this video right where we started it this morning, taking Justin for a walk before we go back to the hotel and settle down for the night. Guys, one thing I can tell you is that, you know, in these videos, you're not seeing everything. I can't show you everything. I mean, we were out for, what, 7-8 hours today, and no one wants to sit there and watch a 7 or 8 hour long video. But needless to say, the footage that you see is just a touch of how absolutely amazing our country is. I saw stuff today that just took my breath away. And I knew it was pretty out here, but I saw stuff that even prettier than I expected it to be. That was just amazing. So if you guys like what you see in these videos and you've never been out here to see it in real life, understand that what you're seeing on the screen doesn't compare to real life. Get out here, check it out. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Until the next time I see you, keep those engines running.